the all-state percussion excerpts page, and I think this is a great page. And once again, if you're just tuning in, I'm Tom Schmidt, the president of the Massachusetts chapter of the Percussive Arts Society, and just putting this video out there of this year's all-state percussion excerpt page. And I'm really thrilled that this is part of the audition, because so often we spend so much time on mallets, timpani, snare drum, we forget the importance of learning techniques and artistry on all of these accessory instruments, which honestly, when you go out there and you're playing, whether you want to be professional or you're just playing in ensembles in college and after college and even in high school, this is a big part of what we do, are these accessory instruments. And if you're not really proficient at them, you're going to find that you're really going to be limited with what you're able to do and your performance opportunities. So each one of these topics, these instruments have their own techniques and styles and ideas. And as teachers, we have a lot of different ideas and approaches to these instruments. And, you'll find as you go out there as a student, there's more than one right way to play crashes on cymbals. There's tons of different techniques and ways to have a nice sound on cymbals. And on bass, from tambourine, all of these, triangle. You'll find that there's more than one right answer. Just like there's more than one right way to hold a pair of 4 mallets, to hold snare drum sticks. There's lots of different ideas out there, and it's cool if you can pick up things from various teachers and apply them to what you're doing on your own. This kind of thing, running back and forth this quickly, kind of hopefully doesn't happen in the world. To me, it's almost like somebody did a bad job assigning parts. So you're running around. Really, you should have enough players where you're not doing stuff like this. But sometimes we do have to do these things getting really quick, and it's important that we know how to subdivide and count in between changing instruments. But stuff like this, it happens, but hopefully it doesn't happen that often. Hopefully you have enough players in all-state band where you're not really, some of these changes are really, really quick to the point where I would think someone didn't do the best job figuring out who should play what. Composers really shouldn't write a change that quick, but they do. So first off, let us go by instruments. Starting off with crash cymbals. Really deep topic, a lot of amazing repertoire to study. You may find just really spending some time with cymbals at your school, and hopefully someday getting your own pair of cymbals, your own tambourine, your own triangle, beaters, I think really helps a lot. These are Zildjian classical orchestral 19-inch cymbals. 18 or 19-inch I think are a great start. And this line of cymbals, the classic orchestral, is a great choice for your first pair of cymbals because they're very versatile. There's some amazing sounds that are available to us, especially from Zildjian. And not all of them have the best application to all the music we play, but these are a nice cymbal that will get you through a lot of gigs. Not too dark, not too bright, not too specialized, where you might get a sound more specialized from K Customs, Constantinople's, whatever. You'll find these are nice starter cymbals. So if you're able to invest in a pair of cymbals, is an excellent idea. And once I started getting my own snare drum, my own tambourines, I found that I really started to improve on all of these instruments. Plus, then you can practice at home, and you get called for a gig. It's not, hey, can I borrow a pair of cymbals? You've got them, you're good to go, you're a pro. So, you can spend some time, for me, thinking of these opposite ovals with cymbals has helped. You don't have to crash down, you don't have to crash up, but practicing both ways. So, for me, sometimes practicing kind of opposite ovals, and then eventually you turn into nice crashes. We can work on playing with a little sizzle, playing a little more dry, and experimenting with a lot of different sounds. It's nice when you have these big moments in band. You can really play these big cymbal crashes where the cymbals go flying through the air. It's nice for the audience to see. It really does help project the sound out. So it's a deep topic. It's worth talking to your teacher about cymbal technique and just picking up all these little tricks from various teachers and other players. But once again, no one right way to crash a pair of cymbals. But for me, a lot of these short notes, I'm kind of crashing out and then just bringing the note in. You could also crash in. Really important to play short notes close. Just quickly bring those notes in. And saving it for the last note to really show off a big I feel like you do something like that in your audition, it's like, wow, I want to have that in the band. That's exciting. From the audience, cymbals flying up in the air, great big sound. No, yeah, those last three notes can really build, you know. Something like that. So really a deep world, and it's important to spend some time and kind of figure out what works for you on cymbals. So that's actually a really quick change over to bass drum. So I'm grabbing my mallets while counting, and you can muffle the bass drum obviously a little bit with your knee when you need to. But it's some nice shape in this, a lot of crescendos, diminuendos, so really pay attention to all of that. And you can even sometimes muffle with the mallet. I'm kind of using this other. When you're playing without two mallets, this excerpt, I don't really have time to bring my hand, because I'm going so quickly from the cymbals. I don't really have my time to bring my hand to the other side, but it does help if you can muffle the second head on the other side with your left hand. And here, the bass drum will probably be like this, vertical. So you'll play traditional grip on all those rolls, and you can use slow to fast and work on your traditional grip. That'll happen. Your other option, if your bass drum does tilt, you can tilt it and then play match grip is your other option there. Then I let the bass drum ring, from this. Have that nice resonance, and use that resonance to come over here while you're counting and pick up the triangle. Triangle is a blast to play. I own 5 or 6 different triangles. So it is amazing all the different sounds and colors you can get from this instrument. And just like the cymbals flying up in the air, it's nice if you can really show the audience the triangle. The sound is going to go out into the audience, and it's just going to be a nice experience for everyone. What I see sometimes is this. The triangle stays on the stand. Oh, I wish I had the snare drum part. I got to play this triangle part. All right, whatever. One, you sometimes can hear even the triangle reverberating with the stand. And there's not a lot you can do as far as muffling when it's on the stand. And the audience has no idea what's going on. So certainly there are times we have to do that. We just got to play a few notes and we don't have time to pick it up. But really, if you have time to pick it up, I'm letting the clip rest on my index and thumb, and that allows these fingers here to muffle. And I can do, when I'm playing quarter notes, between each quarter note, there's a little kind of fingertip muffle from my middle finger that's giving me a fresh attack, as opposed to, which is okay, it's nice. You can play around with that a little bit. You don't always have to do that, but that can give you a little fresh attack. Then there's times like in this, you're muffling with these fingers. I also find I'm holding the beater at this angle of kind of like 11 o'clock and 5 o'clock. Here, you're not going to get a lot of overtones. Here, same thing. Not a ton of overtones, but if you really catch it at an angle, the triangle will tend to produce more notes and more overtones and blend with the ensemble a little bit better. Certainly there are times also on triangle you can play fast notes using up and down. Kind of a technique. Some players also will mount the triangle and play with 2 mallets for faster notes like that. Lots of different ideas. No one right way to do things. It's all about experimenting and figuring out really what works best for you and what the sound that you like. So I'm rolling right on the corner here. And that's the triangle part. Now this is really quick. You're bum, 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 2, 1, 2, 2. You got to put down the triangle and catch the tambourine. So I could have kept the triangle on the stand, but for the purpose of the audition, same thing. It's nice to see, like, oh wow, this percussionist is going to be exciting, to have back there. It's going to really hold the triangle up, play some nice little dampening, and everyone in the audience is going to see it. It's going to be exciting. That's the player I want for All-State Band. So that was my reasoning for holding it up. But it's a really quick change, right? I would hope you don't have a change like that. It happens though, right? So I started playing, I've got my tambourine here on the table, and I just started playing and then lifting it up at the same time. So basic tambourine technique, I think about a 3-point fulcrum. So I think about holding the tambourine in this spot where there aren't any jingles on both my index finger, my pinky finger, and my thumb. So I'm feeling index, pinky, thumb. If your hand's big enough, these fingers can come to help muffle. And that kind of grip allows me to play a nice shake roll, and a really deep area of study, the tambourine. There's a lot to study and a lot to know. And same kind of thing, buying your own tambourine. This is a Grover bantamweight tambourine. That's nice. It's not super thick for younger players. Has a nice sound. I really like this tambourine a lot. And same kind of thing, once I got my own tambourine, I really started experimenting with it and playing around with this stuff. So I didn't play, well, I'll just talk about my basic playing technique. I found on tambourine, if you're at about 10 o'clock and 4 o'clock, you're going to get a nice drier sound. And for my beater, I make kind of like a shadow puppet dinosaur or something like that. Like you might make a shadow puppet. Just makes a nice beater so you have a focused sound. If you're playing not super focused, but if you get this kind of thing, it's focused. So if the tambourine's vertical, pretty wet sound. See? The jingles are still going. Same thing with horizontal. Really kind of a wet sound, not that dry rhythmic thing that we're looking for. But something about when the angles are nice and diagonal like this. And same thing, you can hold the tambourine up. Do all that stuff. The next thing I'll talk about are rolls. First off, a good shake roll is important to have. So I might practice or an exercise where I'm trying to get 3 notes out of the tambourine by twisting my wrist. So I've got my 3-point fulcrum, and after I practiced that exercise for a while and built up these muscles, I can get that nice shake roll. So it's not a roll that's rhythmic. It's got a nice, smooth, long tone to it, like a horn section. Is what I'm going for with that. There's also, kind of roll you can. There we go. Super smooth. And even I know people, I'm not as good at that one. If I practice it a bit, maybe. So that's your basic shake roll that you want to take time working on, developing those muscles, turning, all of forearm strength. Then we have thumb rolls and finger rolls. And for me, I use cross-country ski wax to help. You can also put some rosin or beeswax on your tambourine too. Really what you need to do is increase the coefficient of friction between your fingers or thumb and the head of the instrument. If there's no friction, you're not going to get those jingles to get activated as you spin along it. So this is Swick's V55 cross-country ski wax. I guess cross-country ski wax is a lot softer. This is a trick from former percussionist of the Boston Symphony, Tom Gager. I once saw him play and he showed us this trick. And so you can go to an outdoor store, a ski shop, and ask for cross-country ski wax. They might ask where you've been going lately and want to talk shop about cross-country skiing. You can say, no, I'm a percussionist. I do this to increase the coefficient of friction on my fingers so I can play a nice finger or thumb roll on the tambourine. You let it look at you like you're kind of weird. That's all part of our life, right? Certainly happened to me many times, but I like to downhill ski, but that wax is a little harder. It has to be heated up to become a little softer. But probably there are a lot of chemicals involved to this wax. I don't think it's organic. So always make sure you're not putting your fingers in your mouth and things, and always wash your hands before and after using this, I would say. So my fingers are kind of a little sticky from this, and those first rolls are soft mezzo piano. So I'm kind of off to the edge. My fingers are kind of sticky. You can even kind of dance a little bit from your middle finger to your. So the roll has a clear beginning. I'm kind of playing into then a clear end. Then when it's a little louder, really trying to dig in and make that longer roll. I could also switch to my thumb, so it's a little louder, and maybe end with my palm. I gotta get it. So you really gotta make sure you've got a lot of wax on your tambourine. And that can happen. But that might be you might not be as comfortable with the finger roll, and that's fine, or the thumb roll. You'd be fine to just play that as a shake roll. And I think the important thing with the shake roll is a clear beginning, play a note, and a clear ending. Just playing, hear that, or that sounds bad. There's not a clear beginning, there's not a clear ending. It's just like a mix of sound. Probably not gonna work in your favor if you do that. So clear. To make that decrescendo, I've got my palm on the tambourine and kind of making the decrescendo out on the edge. You don't have to do it that way. Lots of different ideas with the tambourine. So I think it's great that this is part of the audition. It's really important and often overlooked. And hope this is helpful. This is just how I decided to do it today. Wasn't perfect, but hopefully gives you some ideas and some things to think about with this stuff. Thanks so much for watching, and if you have any questions, don't be afraid to reach out. T. Schmidt, TSCHMIDT2, tschmidt2 at berkeley.edu is my email. You can also reach me through our Facebook page or our website, and keep in touch with what's going on with our Massachusetts chapter. We're going to have a big day of percussion on March 27th, and I hope to hear from a lot of you, and good luck at the audition. Thanks. Bye.